see the security fence down there? I saw that this guard was coming after me. I saw that another one was coming out to try to head me off. I tried to sidestep him. They both caught me, landed on top of me, and on the ground, with their full body weight pressing down on my body, started twisting back my thumbs like this, trying to pull them right over the top of my hand. As far as I could see, they were trying to break my thumbs. And all the time, I mean, from the very beginning, as soon as I landed on the ground, I was saying, I'm not fighting you, I'm not resisting, just lead me off the site, which they have a legal duty, they can lead me off the site. They're only allowed to use minimum necessary force to get me off, no more than that. And that's not, well, that looks like they're just about to do the same.
3 red hats coming at you.
Just finishing off an interview, it will be 2 minutes.
If you don't move off, we will be able to use reasonable force to do so.
Yes, that's what we're just talking about.
I could see what was coming. I knew what was coming. As we got towards excuse me, I'm just finishing this.
Is he actually doing anything?
Look, what am I actually
still on the site, onto the road. Hang on, we're being vicious.
They're carrying out a police role in that they are removing people from a construction site. These private security guards that are hired by the contractors who are hired by the Department of Transport. So they are acting in a public role, removing people, but they're not subject to the same statutory regulation that their police counterparts are.
You are under arrest for assault!
Listen, you want a fucking bullet in your fucking ass? You want a fucking bullet in your ass? Don't fuck yourself, okay? Don't fuck yourself. You understand?
Yeah, that's assault. Right, that's assault.
The only driving force, of course, is profit, is they're paid to do a job, and they do that job, and sometimes, of course, the profit motive will win out. There's no principles, there's no codes of practice, there's no duties on security firms, as there are on other public officials, particularly the police.
In the United Kingdom, although people may not expect this kind of thing to happen, it does. And people sustain physical injuries because of the way they are treated either by police officials or private security guards acting in a public role.
That one! That one!
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Come on then!
Very boy, eh?
Oh shit! Now.
Fucking bastard!
A person can use minimum reasonable force in the circumstances. And reasonable force is not defined, but it's obviously left to the courts or the individual to decide what is reasonable force. And if a person's coming at you with a gun, then it's reasonable force to use a gun against them.
It's been assaulted, it's been headbutted, you've got 3 witnesses, you've got it on film, this man here's got it on film, and you're not doing anything about it. I want you to do your job, arrest this man.
It's been suitably advised, right?
It's what?
It's been suitably advised to go to the police station.
No, that's not good enough. Every other time we get arrested and taken away to the police station, we want you to do your job and arrest this man.
I'd like to see the police actually take an even hand. They always say they're only there as sort of piggy in the middle to prevent breaches of the peace and breaks of the criminal law. But they've never, as far as I've seen, or very rarely, been prepared to step in and stop security guard violence.
Do you feel you're invading people's privacy by filming? Have you had much training as a photographer?
At the time of the campaign, there'd almost certainly be some kind of covert filming going on, perhaps from a van or series of vans or cars. And if you want to put the frighteners on, as it were, then you might also openly film them so that the more weak-willed ones go home and they're perhaps a bit reluctant to come back again. Once you've got where they live and what they look like, you can then take away their rubbish. That'll show you everything, really, about the person. Even if they've thrown away an envelope that their bank statement came in from the PO box number and so forth on the envelope, you'll know where their bank account is.
I think there's a certain person who's he's got a problem against me, yeah? And is there any way of, like, following him or tapping his phone or anything just to see what he's up to?
We don't do that sort of thing, but perhaps a private detective agency, there should be somebody in the yellow pages.
Hello, is that Mr. Ellicombe? Hello, I'd like to talk to you about the Data Protection Act and the files that you've gathered on me.
They have been hired by the Department of Transport, using public money, to spy on road protesters around the country. We know they've been used at Bath, we know they've been used at London, we know they've been used at the Wyndham campaign in Norfolk, and they've been used at Twyford Down. And Twyford Down alone cost £250,000 to employ them. And they've said that because they are actually contracted by a government department, they think, or they seem to think, that they're immune from data protection laws.
I know definitely that private investigation companies are employed on government projects. I can certainly see that it would be, there are fewer questions to ask, and if the right answers aren't forthcoming, then, oh look, it's an unqualified private investigator that's broken the rules. It isn't a government department.
So do you have any special contacts with the police then?
We keep the special branch, if you like, informed at their request, and they sit in on crisis action plans. In the case of emergency, we dial 2 digits or 3 digits, whatever it is, and suddenly we get the right help.
But how do you get that inside information? I mean, can you
straight from the police themselves? We staged managed a protest on the M11. We knew there's some high-powered government ministers coming down to have a look, who frankly weren't believing all the aggravation that was going on. What we did is we said, right, the ministers are arriving between 10 and 12. Can you make damn sure you're up at compound 3? And if you're going to have a demonstration, have one outside the way. And that's exactly what they did.
Although there are some elements within the police and within the Crown Prosecution Service who are reluctant to prosecute, we have had some notable successes. I think particularly of Richard Cheshire and Michael Smith, who were actually jailed for pushing a saboteur in front of a moving vehicle.
What's it feel like to have your second conviction for violence, Mr. Cheshire? Would you like to comment on that?
Never let a case drop. If you let a case drop, then there are unfortunately too many people in the criminal justice system who are happy just to let it slide by the wayside. You really have to keep pushing.
We should be using the law to our advantage. We should be saying, well, look, hold on, you can't get away with violence, and the courts are there to protect all its citizens, not just big companies, but the ordinary people in the street, and that includes protesters.
Shut the front door. Where are you going, lads?
Well, we're just going up to give you some paperwork.
They'll come down to you.
Huh?
They'll come down to you.
They're going to come down. That's fine. That's fine.
Just walking up the stairs, man. I'm saying come outside, mate, please.
I only need to put this on the floor and observe it, so it won't make any difference. We'd actually arrived to file the injunction papers on this construction worker because in the past he's attacked protesters with a shovel. And he actually turned his crane round and he dumped a whole bucket of water, bricks, rubble on top of one of the protesters who was there actually to file the writ on him.
We've come to serve a county court writ on you, and we have a legal right to come near you and serve it. You just can't handle it, can you? You can't handle it. Give him the writ. Yes!
What killer?
Yes! Got it!
Have a belly full.
Yeah! Come here! Yeah! Come here, you have a fucking belly full! Eh? Go on, hit me. Go on. Eh? Go on, hit me. Don't fucking throw this fucking shite in here.
So can you tell me how you feel? Because he just dumped 3 buckets of crap all over people.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
How would you feel if he
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I'll play it back to you. How would you feel if it was true?
I didn't see it.
Will you take responsibility if it's true?
No.
You won't take responsibility if one of your construction workers...
He's not my construction worker.
Who do you work for?
Mind your own business.
You work for the DOT?
Mind your own business.
You're a contractor?
Mind your own business.
but I must inform you that does count as served.
We should be using the law to our advantage. We should be saying, well, look, hold on, you know, you can't get away with violence, and the courts are there to protect all its citizens, not just big companies, but the ordinary people in the street, and that includes protesters.
Listen, we're in the courthouse. Yeah, we're in the courthouse, and can you activate your bit of the phone tree? Because it's absolutely amazing. We've got to get everybody down there to do loads and loads of work. Excellent, excellent.
Just pulling together all the jobs that need to be done.
This place, the Courthouse, it's got the most dynamic energy about it I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe what's happened this weekend. I think everybody involved in the campaign has been blown away by commitment from people who've come out of the woodwork, people, residents, electricians, plumbers, everything that's needed and wanted. People just gave to it. It's such a community thing. It's just dynamic, positive, direct action.
There was a Tory MP on Newsnight complaining that he's had no letters about the criminal justice bill. The reason is because we're not interested in asking his permission we're going to do things. We've set this centre up in 3 days and we can do it ourselves and fuck the politicians.
Oh, I've been here 14 years.
14 years.
And I just, this morning, my regular customer was talking about Scots moved in down the road. Yeah. And almost everybody was pleased to see someone there. Well, nobody complained or anything.
Right.
I think it's good. Homeless people, somewhere to live. But personally, I don't mind. It's good for the community, I think.
you're living the way you're believing in, and you're with other people who believe in the same way, and it grows and it builds and it builds, your self-worth and your self-confidence rises, and you know what you're doing is right. You've got intuition, you know what you're doing is right.
A group of up to 150 squatters have occupied a derelict courthouse in Brighton to protest at the government's criminal justice bill.
And not only have they, illegally squatted, but they play reggae music till 2 and 3 and even 4 in the morning.
The squatters say they've actually improved the property since taking it over.
Back to the snooze. Private security firms. There are now more private security firms, 167,000 of them, operating in the UK than police officers. That's according to Home Office figures. And Liberty have put together all the rights that are breached, the European Convention of Human Rights that are breached by the CJB. Article 2, right to life. Article 3, freedom from inhumane or degrading treatment. Article 5, right to liberty and security of the person. Article 6, right to fair trial.
It strikes me that it's something the rest of us have to make a fuss about. And what Parliament does next month may have to be undone by the rest of us in the months that follow.
The government's choice to remain silent on this matter should certainly be taken as an inference of guilt. I would therefore instruct the jury to take this into consideration and infer a level of guilt when deliberating upon their verdict.
All we want is just this. All we want is justice. If I want to dance all night, it's my God-given right. I'm sorry, son, but that makes you a criminal. In the eyes of the law, you've committed a most grave offence. Now let us test your blood to see if you're a pedigree. If you don't cooperate, we'll handcuff you to the gate and draw some DNA from your book's best mate. You're on Big Brother's birthday card list now, son. You're on Big Brother's birthday card list now, son.
100 years of Haile Selassie. Lift up your spirit. Raise your consciousness. Beat down the Babylon. Beat down the music.
Find the bits that you do best and enjoy it, because those who play together stay together, and if you do it with a smile on your face, it's a lot better for everybody anyway.
We're a culture, we're the young people, we're the homeless people, we're the poor people, and we're vast, it's a huge culture. And where before we were just pockets of people that thought similarly, now we've all been brought together and we're forming huge bonds and friendships which will last forever. Every cloud has a silver lining. And the thing is, it's uniting us. It is uniting us.
All those in favour of the criminal justice bill, say aye.
Well, I think it's not going to be a confrontational revolution. It can't happen as a confrontational revolution. The only way it can happen is a consciousness revolution, a shift, a real shift. There's a word, metanoia. It means change of thinking, change in thinking. And if people can change the way they think, then all these problems will suddenly lift. I mean, call me an idealist, but in the atmosphere of this place at the moment, this is how it feels.
And one thing I've realised from going on all these marches and being around here, the energy, the strength for the people that are involved, these are beautiful people. There's youth, there's beauty, there's creativity, huge energy, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. And to suggest that we should is utterly ridiculous.
When I first were talking to people and local people about this and said, you know, I'm opposing this golf course, what do you think? Everybody has said, oh, I'm terribly against it, but you'll never win. You'll never win against the Japanese. They've got so much money. And all I have felt that it is the belief in that statement that stops you winning. And I think just as long as you keep saying, no, it's possible, somebody will hear, somebody will believe. Because it's not right for it to go ahead. Keep walking, Hadrian, that's it.
They're the last bastion of what I call semi-wild land. It used to be, it was waste of the manor. In other words, it was land that wasn't good enough for the lord of the manor to use. And so he allowed the commoners to graze on it and gather wood on it and hay for their animals and this sort of thing and pannage for their pigs. And it was a way really of protecting these rather wild scrubby places that people didn't want to develop from being developed by people like London Casido.
Land is private land, subject to rights of common, and there are certain paths which run around the perimeter of our land, which the public are allowed to walk along. So that's okay, and they can look at the land if they wish, but they can't walk on it.
I've seen up there sand lizards, adders, slow worms, deer. These things are all going to come under threat and damage once you start changing some rough countryside into a manicured golf course.
I got in touch with an organisation called the Global Anti-Golf Course Movement. Asked them if they could supply me with the name and address of the president of Kosaido in Japan, which they did do. I then wrote to him to say, to explain to him what was happening, to explain to him the nature of common rights, and to say that whatever they did, they would still have these animals walking over their golf course. And I did get a letter back saying that he would instruct the manager here to contact me immediately.
Yes. Well, we're all ready for the meeting. Mary. Hello.
This is Mrs. Holloway.
Hello, nice to
meet you. I'm going to leave you.
Yes, fine.
And see you
come back. You know the way now.
Hello, my name is Thomas Hardy.
Yes.
Will you be prepared to give a statement?
No, I don't think so, because I don't speak good English, so I can't express my intention properly. So maybe, our share announcement through Mr. Jones or our consultant, please.
Okay, thanks.
So how did the meeting go?
No point, really. Not really much to tell.
He said, we have got support. And I said, well, who is supporting you? He said, well, the Sports Council, the Chamber of Commerce, and he said, the planning officers, your planning officers.
Bye-bye. If we'd given him an inch, he was going to bribe us or offer us something. He gets something we can do for the commoners and the local people.
If there's only something we can do for the commoners.
Yes. And we kept just saying we didn't want the golf course, didn't we?
Don't lean on the post. Well, the district councillors from our local council are here to have a look at this land, to decide whether they're going to approve having a golf course put on it. We're here as the commoners just to show our presence, really, and to show the animals are here and that we value it.
Yeah, upper limit, but it's
the cows are just here. Here come the cows.
Approaching.
The cows are here. Yeah.
Are these your cattle, Mary?
No,
Are they not speaking to you at all?
Planning office, good afternoon.
Hello, is that Mr. Few?
Speaking.
Mr. Few, it's Mrs. Finucane from the Bramshot Commoners here.
Yes, yes.
Hello. Do I understand that the Old Thorns are going to appeal?
I wouldn't be at all surprised, but
yes.
I understand that their previous application, the 6 months in which to appeal, expires this week.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be at all surprised if they appealed against the earlier refusal.
Yes, the one in January.
That's right.
Yes. And that means it goes straight to the Secretary of State for the Environment.
Well, yes, that's right.
And their response to that was to go out and spray weed killer in strips over a patch of the field where these rare butterflies have been found, and to mow a huge swathe of the heathland. We didn't spot this for a week, I think. I was walking up there and I suddenly saw this brown patch in the distance, and I walked up and found what had happened. And I went running back home and phoned up the Herpetological Society and said, have you done this for them? And they said no, and they were horrified. And I rang up English Nature and I said, have you done this? And they said no, and they were horrified, and sent out an investigator immediately.
State for the Environment, saying officially that London Casado had withdrawn its appeal to the refusal of the planning permission of the golf course. And that was obviously, as far as that is concerned, that is final. If they wanted to start again, they've got to start again from the beginning and go right back, you know, to district councils and things, so that the whole of that planning application is dead as a doornail now,
Yes.
isn't it?
Well, our task was made slightly easier by the fact that the Indonesian timber industry decided to come out with such outrageous statements that were very easy to contest. However, we phoned up the ITC, we wrote to them, and they had to take our complaint seriously. Even if they hadn't wanted to, they were forced to. Once we'd made our complaint, the advert was suspended on all those channels, and then when they finally came to their decision that the advert was misleading and that it also violated the sort of political ethics code, then it was withdrawn on all the UK channels.
My home the modern way, and the modern way is bright and gay with the modern soap. It's Puritan. Hooray!
At Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, delegates from 44 allied and associate countries arrived for the opening of the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference. Invited by President Roosevelt, they will work in the seclusion of this White Mountains resort.
Summing up the importance of Bretton Woods, Mr. Vinson says,
"Ours is a mission of peace.
designed to establish the economic foundations of peace on the bedrock of genuine international cooperation.
And here's some really good news.
We recommend you to use
What we have done in the West is to support rulers whose policies have been devastating to the poorest in the third world. Absolutely devastating. We have kept them afloat.
Ours is a free enterprise society with an egalitarian base.
Why should the Filipino people now, having got rid of the dictator Marcos, repay money that he got from the World Bank, much of it which he and his cronies pocketed?
Well, I don't know how much of the World Bank money he pocketed. There are a lot of procedures.
We know he pocketed quite a bit, you would agree.
Of the World Bank money, I would disagree.
Talk about whiteness.
That's honest to goodness whiteness.
Good morning. Welcome to Regent Hotel.
The IMF has been created for the world's sake, not for the rich nor for the poor. It is able to promote free trade, and through free trade, more growth, more employment, more well-being in the world.
Here's new blue Vim.
So wonderfully smooth and kind to my hands.
Contains germicide. Gets at the germs you can't see.
Grease and stains just vanish. Contains bleach, too. What I like is the lovely smell, like spring flowers. It properly cheers you up.
What? 1 powder for all that?
And here's some really good news.
We recommend you to use
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm from England, and I work here at the World Bank.
Hi, I'm Mahua. I'm from India, and I work here at the World Bank too.
Now, the World Bank is no ordinary bank. Its role is to lend money to the governments of its poorer members, often called developing countries.
It attempts to portray itself as an institution looking out for the interest of not only poor countries, but for poor people within those countries.
The main focus of the bank is poverty alleviation.
That has never been the case. The bank is pushing the interest or promoting the interest of countries in the first world and for an elite sector in the third world.
I resigned from the World Bank on the same basis as I resigned from the fund, because I thought the World Bank operations were massively against the interests of developing countries, and there was nothing I could do as a staff member of the World Bank to change those attitudes.
I don't come away with the perspective that you have at all.
Do you agree the World Bank destroys tropical forests? No.
No, I don't think we do.
I would disagree.
Talk about whiteness.
That's honest to goodness whiteness. World Bank spent hugely in directions which certainly don't benefit the poor, and quite often actually harm them. Unviable industrialization, like nuclear plants, steel plants, immensely expensive highways, which becomes impossible to maintain, petrochemical complexes, often in the jungle.
As you can see, development can be successful.
What's that to do with the position of the poor? Always development, for that matter.
you just cannot rest for a minute, because if these institutions really proceed, then they would go on till the world is destroyed, the planet really comes to an end, and the human communities are really shattered.
And here's some really good news.
We recommend you to use
The misrepresentations that we were doing in the country of a statistical nature and of a non-statistical nature too was so tremendous that I thought, as a professional economist, I just could not keep going and be part of that fraud.
Countries severely indebted have made progress toward better internal equilibrium at a very high cost indeed, and very frequently not enough.
I can't accept the premise that adjustment hurts the poor automatically. In fact, the poor don't have much to look forward to.
In every home, in your home, germs may lurk unseen, breeding, multiplying. Wipe them out with...
When the cost of living increases beyond the capacity to survive, people go out into the streets and they protest. And then they are shot down with the imported military equipment which countries got into debt to purchase in the hundreds.
And here's some really good news.
We recommend you to use
We have before us for our formal approval the most important trade agreement in history. This agreement will lead to an unprecedented opening of markets.
It will reform trade in agricultural goods, opening up new export opportunities for farmers in every country.
Talk about whiteness.
That's honest-to-goodness whiteness. White can be even whiter.
I've never seen such whiteness.
White strength for your wash. Live with white and love it.
Shining, shining whiteness.
Whiter all the way through.
Even white nylon stays whiter.
Just that important bit white.
Double whitening power.
The World Trade Organization, if it's ratified by the U.S. Congress, will be an instrument of transnational corporations that the White House has achieved alongside the European Union governments to overrule domestic laws.
It will destroy a way of life, a culture, the very basis of what we believe in here in America, which is rural life, community life.
Have your answer, not somebody else's!
Challenges of development concern all of us.
The burden carried in the third world is not just their problem. It's our problem.
You know, if it's a help to them,
In the end, it helps the whole world.
We're all in this together. Good luck to you all, and good night.
Yeah, keep going.
Time and time again, we are discriminated against and refused entry, and we're not about to put up with that any longer. We're going to fight and fight back, and we'll keep fighting until we get the civil rights that's our right to have.
Demonstrators have climbed up Carfax Tower in the centre of Oxford to protest about the levels of traffic in the city centre. 4 members of the Oxford is Choking organisation, which wants the city centre closed to all private traffic, are hanging banners from the tower in an effort to speed up the council's plans to phase out vehicles.
Looking back, however, this 50th anniversary finds us looking forward. With over 1 billion people still in absolute poverty, the challenge of development is not diminished.
People, let him have his say. Security, let him say what he wants to say.
50 years is too much. 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 50 years is enough. 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 50 years.
The world was way better off before we had a World Bank, so the people are out here to express that. Shut the World Bank down, give the people a chance to do the right thing.
One of the biggest contemporary problems for the Tibetan people is their economic disempowerment. And The prime cause of that economic disempowerment is the mass of Chinese settlers who are moving into Tibet. So we are now campaigning for an international boycott of Holiday Inn, and we need to force them out of Lhasa, the capital of Tibet.
This is Holland. For the next 15 years, the Dutch government will spend 60 billion guilders on new infrastructure. New highways, tunnels, expanding of the airports like Schiphol, and all over Holland, action groups are protesting against this policy.
It's just outside. It's just arrived back, just down the road.
I just picked it up and walked out the store, and then as I was walking along, someone stopped me and said, "Have you got a ticket for that?" And I said, "Yes." "No, I haven't." And showed it to a friend at the entrance and just walked off, and they just let me go.
Yeah, over the top, show off.
Do you want Dom help with the door?
I believe this to be stolen property from the indigenous peoples of Brazil. It's found in Jewson's timber yard.
Okay. If you'd like to take a seat a moment, I'll speak to one of my...
Just sit down, don't leave your bits and pieces on here. Sit down over there and somebody will come along and speak to you shortly.
Yes, all right. Thank you. Bye.
The sale is going through because the British government is allowing the sale to go through. The British government could stop this sale, but they've decided not to. This is why we're outside the MOD, to make a point that you can't sell weapons to dictators, you can't sell weapons to human rights abusers, and this sale should be stopped immediately.
I work for a Small World. It's like an independent production company. And we make, excuse the mess, I haven't had time to clear up. And we make films for news and television and that kind of stuff.
So, how did you get the story? I mean,
like anyone, we were told.
Free the night! 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 Free the night!
Housing is a human right!
Free the night! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free!
what sort of society is it that allows that to happen outside the police station? I mean, the police station was virtually under siege. And I know that guy. When I say Gratwell, usually Gratwell, you know, he's a smashing chap. He used to be a fantastic rugby player, and I know him because he's a very great friend of a firefighter. And I can remember one Christmas when him and his brother was up the fire station. He was absolutely paralytic, and I got to tell you, he's a good guy.
Arrest! Set them free! No more arrest! Set them free! No more arrest!
And obviously people were just trying to hold their ground. There was no sort of aggressive backlash from any of the protesters there. But people tried to hold their ground, and I can remember, you know, people being dragged off into the back of the police station. I remember some guy being dragged off there and just this look of pain on his face again. And they had a hard time getting people out of the foyer, and in the end resorting to using a fire extinguisher as a sort of final push to sort of make people move.
When they charged? I'll show you again.
Yes, please. Yes.
It's difficult to get the first time.
Yeah.
They're lined up.
They're lined up.
There's no warning happening. This guy's just kind of smoking a cigarette. Move it! I'm pressed, mate. Move it! I don't give a shit. Move it! I'm pressed. Okay, you're on camera, mate.
Move that camera, and you said.
I'm pressed.
I'm pressed. He said I don't. That's right. He said I don't give a shit. But I mean, that's so far. That's okay. You know.
Now, move it! Move it! Fucking asshole, wanker! Fuck! Doing that?
The police were coming up towards us, up the high street. We thought, wow, we're going to move someone just like a little way behind us. The police vans just like pulled alongside them. The policemen jumped out and just put them up against the wall and threw them back in the back of the van. Took them off. They were just like rounding people up as they were making their way home down along the high street. Incredible.
I find it very difficult to. I wouldn't see him getting the sack for that. Well, I would see him getting a reprimand or something. Really, I mean, there's evidence there of sloppiness in police procedures. And what I'm saying is, there's not enough there, I don't think, to get a bloke's job for it. Thank you very much.
Gives you a flavour at least, doesn't it?
As I say, I've been there, right. but I wanted to. I wanted to see it. Yeah. So I know about it. Again, I'd be happy to show it to a panel or something. Stuff like that. I mean, the police will always have the news copy of it, so, and that's got most of it. Actually, all the sensational bits.
to get up and we're going to have to get out of our houses and we're going to have to stand in front of things, okay? We're going to have to get in their way, we're going to have to cost them money because they don't care about people. They couldn't give a crap about people. They're tearing up this community, they're tearing up this land, they don't care. So now we've got to make them listen by getting at them what they care about, money and time.
When we sat down in the first place and talked about the possibility of direct action before direct action had happened and before Amy's had moved onto the site, I said I didn't want anything to do with it. I said I thought the battle was lost once that came about, and I'd done all my letter writing and I'd done all the sort of so-called proper channels, and I said, you know, from now on it might be gimmicky, but it's not really going to do any good. I've had to change my mind on that. We've got such a huge amount of very high-profile publicity out of this, so I think that's really been worth it.
Street with so many men round one woman. Would you stand by and watch then? You probably won't.
And I just felt so sad but so powerless that I couldn't do anything about it. That they decided, the powers had decided that my countryside was being destroyed and my home, and that there was absolutely nothing I could do to stop it or even to fight it or anything. And I don't know, I just never thought I'd be the sort of person to break the law, really. That's great.
We went down to the demonstration on Friday morning and there were very few people there. And we didn't think anything was really going to happen. And then suddenly a lorry came with a porter cabin on it, trying to turn into the site.
No more roads! 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 It's going to hurt. If you don't get out, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. If you don't move, you'll be arrested.
They put the handcuffs on you, and it hurts, and you're taken away, and you have absolutely no rights whatsoever. But at the same time, you actually become quite calm and think, well, this is happening to me, I'm going to cope with it, and I shall come out of it the other side. I'm not the sort of person who does outrageous things, but I think they're rather proud of me, in a way. One has to sometimes stand up and be counted, and that's what happened. I sat down and was counted.
Well, basically, we arrived this morning to discover that they'd sort of breached the area that we declared as a section 6 off and declared as squatted land, and we're working on it. So in squatting the land, you sort of physically get in the way of where they want to go, which is always a good delaying tactic when trying to stop road schemes like this.
Park up and then walk up to Solsbury Hill, yeah? Find the campaign office, which is like on Bowbrook Lane.
Communication centre to the mobile. Over. Link check. Everything okay?
3 yellow coats floating around in the compound there, so I don't think it's going to be a fast run.
Again, it was a Tuesday, if I remember, and we weren't sure how the evictions were going to happen, whether it was going to be all in one go or one at a time. As it happened, it was one at a time, and so we defended the houses one at a time. And you know, as the police and sheriff came to each one, we jumped up. But of course, all the houses were barricaded from the inside. The groups of people were in there.
Push him up!
Why don't you?
Get the bolt cutters again.
What we've done is we've secured ourselves to one of their main entrances.
You might put it outside, please. Yeah, would you mind putting it outside, you would? Would you mind putting it outside? Oi! Excuse me.
Are you looking for that? Yeah, we're looking for Mr. Jerry Barnett. I don't think he's over in these offices. Have you gone into reception? We've bypassed them because they won't let us speak to anyone. They won't. He's actually out over the back somewhere. Where is Jerry Barnett now? Do you know?
Jerry?
Yeah, he's out the back somewhere, isn't he? Do you know which offices he's in?
I don't even know who Jerry Barnett is.
He's the contract manager on the M4 job.
Environmental demonstrators have locked a company's main gates, forcing many workers to stay at home.
Work was due to begin on a bypass for the village after a 30-year fight by local people.
But those opposed to the new road had other ideas. The result, a showdown between contractors and protesters.
Your news media, they're just hounds, hungry for drama. Of course, we need them, but they need us too. We do ask now, like if people come along, that they give donations. BBC Film Unit came along and they gave an £80 donation. I mean, it should be a symbiotic relationship. They're making a living off us. We think it's only fair that they contribute towards the campaign.
I've been here about 5 weeks now, living in trees for about 4 weeks. The numbers vary from, there's normally about 17 sleeping up here at night time and then maybe 25 in the day. So it's quite, there's lots of people in the trees. I've got, I don't know how many hammocks, probably about 12 different places, maybe more than that. And they're all linked up with walkways. We've got a kitchen over there and a place up there for taking videos, and there's a loudspeaker up there to tell people down the actions what's going on. And then everyone kind of sleeps out in the different hammocks and things. This is like the central area. So we've got a telephone up here and lots of connections.
And Ben were abseiling down trees and also trying to get onto the platform and also trying to save branches, and the chainsaw operator was quite illegally cutting sort of like branches around them, He was lucky not to cut the rope of Pete a couple of times. Pete got onto the actual platform a couple of times and they just swung out and he was just left in midair. The same with Ben. Martin sort of like went round and made to jump onto the platform, misjudged it because it moved out and fell. A good 50 feet.
It's not enough to destroy the fucking land.
All I'm asking now, all I am asking you to do now is please keep calm, be quiet. Let's let him get treated. Let's get the ambulance to him. But all this noise is doing nothing.
And the police, the construction industry, the sheriff, well, a representative from the sheriff's office just watched while it happened. It's just outrageous, you know, just outrageous. I mean, there's an article by John Vidal in The Guardian saying it's only a matter of time before somebody's killed on one of these campaigns, and it very nearly happened yesterday.
Obviously, I'd very much like you to come down now. I sincerely think that if you come down now, it will go better for you in court than if you continue to resist. I also think if it matters to you, you've made your protest here just as far as you are going to do. And indeed, if you want to know what I think you're damaging your cause by continuing any further.
They've now got to move all that to come in the other way at us.
Get off those fucking safety lines! You're gonna kill somebody any minute now! You're gonna kill somebody! You're gonna kill somebody! You're gonna kill somebody!
The people in the trees are really, really brave, and that the security guards and everyone else are a load of cowards, because, I mean, these people are up sort of 60 foot downwards, high up, and then there are chainsaws coming at them. A friend of ours fell out of a tree 2 weeks ago, fell 40 foot, he's really ill, and yet they're still up there trying to save the trees.
This is what we'd really like to say, is because everyone is saying, you know, that they are a bunch of outsiders, they're rent a mob and everything. They are not. They are doing this on our behalf, and everybody here is proud of them, and the whole country should be proud of them.
Push up. Oh, keep us hold up.
I never believed it would last more than a month. And then the tree happened, and thought, my goodness, there's some life coming into this campaign. It's suddenly beginning to get some publicity and some local support. And then when the tree went, I thought, well, are we going to be able to sustain it beyond that? And it keeps coming back and going on and getting stronger.
We're going to fight every blade of grass, as they say. We're going to go all the way.
We've got people up on, if you like, up on the cranes and that over there. We've got people in the site itself, locking on with D-locks around their neck to machinery. You've got people just making a basic general nuisance of themselves by being in there. It causes disruption, which means they can't work.
He's got his phone, his mobile phone.
He didn't know. He was woken up with sledgehammers on his door.
They promised they'd give him 1 day's notice. Richard! Richard!
Well, I've got everything in there, all my letters and everything like that. I'm not allowed, I mean, to give them their credit, I've got to be honest, at least they gave me 5 minutes to get out.
The bailiffs have a duty to evict persons from the grounds and from the houses. Police intervention is only likely if there's a breach of the peace or a breach of the peace is likely to occur.
Any breach of the peace is being caused is by the security guards because they're unlawfully on the land.
They're assaulting us unlawfully on the land. But that's not the way the Treasury solicitor.
I don't care what the Treasury solicitor says. Are they here?
Listen, if we get stopped by the police, we're making a film called The Ladder.
Homes not roads! Homes not roads! Homes not roads! Homes not roads!
The next thing that's coming is Claremont Road. Claremont Road in E11 near Leighton Tube Station. It's an amazing place. You've got to see it to believe it. The whole street is standing in defiance of these road building. There's madness. It's madness.
What's he been arrested for?
Order offence. Who are you?
You can come round and you can...
What's she been arrested for?
Preach the peace.
They can win by force, you know, they can threaten us with £1 million bills, but we won't be intimidated because we know we can win the argument.
Is there any need for all of you lots? Bloody hell!
This is what we pay our rates for.
That is an old lady, be careful!
Yeah, where's the policeman when you need one? Oh my God!
Put down! Don't pass, you fag! Don't pass, you fag!
Are you going to hit me with your beanie truncheon? What's that?
Roads has become the issue that it should have been a year ago. Twyford was in people's minds, but they weren't really connecting it. It was nice, fluffy landscapes, not about social issues, not about housing, not about people's needs in communities, which is what the M11 campaign has done and brought to people's attention, and it has made roads into the issue that it should be.
Looks like they're trying to attack the digger. Looks like somebody's... Yes, they're standing on the digger.
Leave him alone! Yeah!